series in over a decade. I know you mentioned that stat earlier, Max, but does he have enough left to beat those Raptors?
No, he didn't have enough to start with to beat the Raptors. I'd take the Raptors, period, in a first-round series, but especially in the next round, where the Cavs, and it was critical for them to not have an extended series with Indiana. They went the distance with Indiana, and then some. I mean, by the way, Indiana, a little more focused at the end of Game 7. Maybe they win. It came down to the wire. Even as the Cavs had what seemed to be a comfortable, like, 3-possession lead, you still thought, somehow maybe this isn't over. No, the Cavs do not have enough, and Toronto is especially deep. So you mean to tell me the Cavs, with LeBron going ham, right? Yeah. LeBron playing lights out of this world. Oh, my God, now maybe he is as good as Michael Jordan, is the question being asked. They barely get by an Indiana team, and it's the Cavs who have home court. Now they got to go to a better Raptors team. Everyone knows the Raptors are better than Indy. A deeper team, a fresher team, and that team has home court. How's LeBron going to do that? It's not a 9-game. He needed 7 to take care of Indy. He's going to need, what, 9, 11 to get there? Ain't 9 or 11. There's only 7 at most, and I don't even know if he goes 7 with the Raptors.
Well, first of all, the Raptors are clearly the better team. I'm not about to sit here and tell you that Cleveland's better than Toronto. That would be nonsense. I know better than that. I'm just not going to jump off the bandwagon. I'm going to go down with the ship because...
You should try it. It's fun.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go down with the ship. I'm not going to jump off the bandwagon.
Right off the Pelicans.
You're the pro. You know what you're doing in that department. Here's the reality of the situation. It's going to take a superhuman effort from LeBron James in order to win this series because they're not the better team. They have the best player in the world and virtually nothing else. Having said all of that, because of what this man has been able to do from Toronto on so many occasions, when I look at the Toronto Raptors with Masai and obviously Dwayne Casey, they clearly went about the business of building this team specifically to beat LeBron James.
Yeah.
That was their #1 nemesis. They clearly weren't worried about the Wizards. They didn't have to be. Outscored them 29-14 in the fourth quarter. I was at that game Friday night. The Wizards just don't even get me started with them. I'm just so disgusted with them. Somebody needs to go there. And
we actually are getting into them later. You
can't even keep them together. But when you look at this kid, Pirtle for Toronto, Siakam, you've got length.
Bench guys.
They got bench guys, and they're going to throw bodies after bodies after bodies at LeBron James. My question is, can he overcome it? For the moment, I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to say, because LeBron James is playing with house money. He has nothing to lose because everyone knows the Toronto Raptors are better. And all the pressure is on Toronto because of it. We shall see. They are the better team without question. But I'm not going to jump off the bandwagon until I'm absolutely...
You didn't even make your best argument.
That's right.
You didn't even make your best argument.
Don't have to.
Stephen A., the best argument is that LeBron didn't get anything from anyone in the first round and was able to beat Indiana. Maybe, like law of averages says, a couple of guys are going to have some good games against Toronto. But what I'm saying is, even if that happens, that's not going to be enough. I don't view this as very close right now. As I said, Toronto, top 5 offense, top 5 defense, most of the season. They are well coached. Their Achilles heel, as I mentioned, is late in games. They ISO DeRozan and Lowry. They are going to have to address that. But I've been saying since about the All-Star break, I'm not sure against this Cleveland, or after the All-Star break, sorry, because the Cleveland looked good after the trade, and then a couple games later, not so good again. I just don't, Cleveland just doesn't have it. They don't have enough. And I don't think it's going to come down to the last couple minutes of the game against Toronto. You saw that was the case against Indiana. Several of the games, it wasn't a game late in the fourth quarter. If Toronto's better than Indiana. If there are 2 or 3 games where they don't even have to worry about DeRozan or Lowry or ISOing and playing hero ball, they're just going to win those games anyway.
Right.
I don't see how Cleveland does it.
Here's what listen, I understand that. And listen, again, the task is daunting. They're not the favorites in the series. But I will give you a scenario under which they can make things interesting. The only other person that Dwayne Casey puts on the floor that generates any kind of offense for you is Fred VanVleet. Outside of him, everybody's on the court for defensive and energy purposes. So if you are LeBron James, the one thing that you have to deal with LeBron James, you can never be on the court without offense. You have to be able to score because just defense is not enough against him because he's going to find a way. Remember, yesterday, I didn't care how close the game was. I knew there was no way in hell the Indiana Pacers had a chance. Do you know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because it was 5-on-8. It was the Indiana Pacers against the 5 guys on Cleveland and 3 officials. I mean, this is LeBron James. Ain't going out no first round. You understand? Television matters. Ratings matter. That brother wasn't going home in the first round. I can assure you of that. Wasn't worried at all about LeBron James losing the game 7. Did I not come on here and tell you? I said, I ain't worried about it. First of all, I didn't think it would go 7. But I said if it went 7.
What does the officials have to do with Oladipo missing wide open 3s?
Let me tell you something.
Or Sabonis turning the ball over.
I'm saying, as the game unfolds, when LeBron went out, they were up 2. And he came back, they were up 9. Again, it's going to be interesting or whatever, but if it got to, like, for example, in Game 5, that was a goaltender. Did LeBron get called against the goaltender?
Nope.
No, he did not. Sorry. Nope. Can't do that. We got to have LeBron James because we need a Game 7. Trust me, this is what goes on. There's no way in hell that LeBron James is going to lose a Game 7 in the first round. What's going to happen? I'm trying to, because it would have been Indiana, Toronto in the play. Oh, my Lord. I'm going to talk about, I mean, do you know how many options of television? I mean, come on now. I mean, the ratings matter, please. And I'm not saying it's purposeful. It's just, it's almost like a default position. LeBron James out of the first round can't happen. Wasn't even worried about it. Now, Toronto makes it a little bit more interesting. But in the end, what it comes down to is you have got to have offense on the court. Because if you don't, LeBron is going to find a way to score, even if they got to send him to the free throw line. He's going to get some points.
What's LeBron averaging?
He's going to get some points.
Come on.
You booked that.
LeBron's averaging an ungodly number of minutes, 41 minutes a game. But that still leaves 7 minutes where that second unit for Toronto's got to. That sounds funny, but in 7 minutes, they may make up 8, 10 points.
The playoffs.
They're going to blow out Cleveland a couple of times in this series.
How many games does the series go?
Well, for me personally, I think that LeBron and them can win in 7.
I think Toronto closes them out in 6.
Yeah.
How about it? I'll remember those predictions. All right, they will forever be compared as the 2 greatest players of all time, but find out why the king is closer to his airness than most think. But joining us next are our 2 draft gurus, my other favorite 2 debaters to break down the draft as Patriots blow it by waiting until the 7th round to take a QB. Mel and Todd here with all the answers. Gentlemen.
What's going on?
Fellas!
I know.
You guys are
Entertained by you over there.
I'm done with him.
That was a fun draft.
Can I rock it? Yes, you can. Come on. Anytime I come around your city, I'm gonna burn it down. Venue after venue.
Okay, so with the Fuel Rewards program, you'll receive instant gold status and get the rewards you